Hey there, welcome to Work in Progress, a how-to series that's meant to help you with everything from prepping for a job interview to boosting your confidence or negotiating a raise. Here's today's question. Launching a job search is a big task, and I'm sure for many of you, when you've thought about taking on a job search, you've already gotten nervous about all the things you need to think about. Well, today we're going to help you launch a job search and have a manageable but actionable plan to go with it. A good place to start is to write down what your strengths are. Strengths can tell you a lot about who you are as a person and what type of roles you'd be successful at. And the first thing I would recommend that you do is start by asking yourself two questions. Number one, what are you good at? And number two, what are you successful at? I'll give you an example. Let's say you really enjoy public speaking and you're pretty good at it. You always get compliments afterwards. But let's take that a little step further and say, but are you successful with your public speaking? Well, maybe your public speaking skills have enabled you to be the number one salesperson or just really good at sales. So that would be a strength, public speaking. You could take this a step further and think about it in terms of maybe you're really good at brainstorming ideas, and maybe that means that, okay, I'm good at this, but also I've been successful at it because some of my ideas that I've brainstormed have turned into strategies that we've used at the company. So for strengths, you need to answer, what are you good at? And also, what are you successful at? Next, you're going to want to update your resume. Now, many of you maybe haven't updated a resume in years, so you're going to have to start by thinking about what have you been doing in your role maybe 2 roles ago all the way up to your current role. And then for those of you that have been keeping your resume updated, now I want you to go a step further and I want you to tailor your resume to the specific job and company. And I really am a fan of a 1-page resume, 2 pages max. But the whole idea is that 1-page resume should tell me as the recruiter or the hiring manager everything that you've done that's extremely relevant to what we're looking for. And a little pro tip for you, go ahead and look through the job description that you want to apply for and take out the exact language. So if they say they're looking for someone who's a great communicator, then use the word great communicator. You'll go through that job description and even circle the words that maybe in phrases that you want to include in there. And if you need to do any more research, you can always go to Indeed.com or even LinkedIn and find roles that are in a similar position just to find more commonalities of terms and softwares and phrases that they use. You want to double check your contact information. And this is because a lot of times when you probably first set up your voicemail of your cell phone, maybe you were 16 or something like that. So make sure that you have a professional voicemail. The next piece of contact information you might want to check out is, what does it say on LinkedIn? Is it giving away your work email? You might not want a recruiter reaching out to you there. And lastly, check out your resume and your email signature. They should all be using at least some sort of common email that you are checking on a regular basis, your phone number. And because we live in the digital age, I think you can actually leave your home address completely off. For now, let's just focus on the email, the phone, and your professional voicemail. You want to make sure that you've optimized your LinkedIn profile so that recruiters can find you, but also you want to make sure that your profile and your resume don't tell 2 completely different stories. So when you're updating that resume to tailor it for the job, feel free to make sure some of that information is reflected on your LinkedIn. Oftentimes, recruiters and hiring managers will check out your resume and then also go to your LinkedIn and check that out as well. Another great tool on LinkedIn that you can use when you're starting a job search is go into your LinkedIn dashboard and turn on the feature that allows recruiters to know that you're job searching. Don't worry, it doesn't allow anyone at your current company, including your boss, to know that. You want to make sure that you're utilizing your network. One of the first things I would recommend when you start your job search and you know that you're actively looking is send a comprehensive email to your entire network, either using LinkedIn's InMail or just regular email, to let them know, here's what I've been up to for the last few years. Here are some of my accomplishments. I'm now actively looking for a new role. Here are the type of roles I'm looking for, and here are the types of companies I'm really excited about. Then you can let them know that you'd really appreciate any referrals or recommendations they would have. Make sure that you sign off in your email signature with a link to your LinkedIn profile, so if they need to check out more information about you, they can, and attach your resume just to make it super helpful and they have everything they need to send your resume to that next person. Now it's all about finding that perfect company. I would recommend to focus on what I like to call target companies. Target companies usually means that you're going to target less companies than maybe your normal job search where you're targeting jobs. So you're going to target maybe up to 5 companies. And what you really want to narrow it down to are companies that really align with your personal and professional goals. Maybe you want a company that is much closer to home because you need your commute to be under 10 minutes. Maybe you want to work for a company that offers online career development or in-person career development opportunities. Or maybe you want to work for a company that's working on a really innovative new product that you're super excited about. Think about what are your career ideals, then determine the companies that are the perfect fit for that, and narrow down your target to just those 5. I think it will be a lot easier to launch and have a successful job search when you're focusing on less companies than you are just kind of putting it everywhere and hoping that someone gets back to you. You also want to make sure that you can nail your personal pitch. You know, when it comes to that personal pitch, that might be in person, it might be in your phone interview, it might be at an in-person networking opportunity. But one of the worst things that can happen is when people say, "Who are you? And what are you looking for?" And you're kind of all over, or you draw a blank. So it's really important that you practice your personal pitch and that you make sure that your pitch and your resume and your LinkedIn and everything else have somewhat of a similar identity, right? You don't want to say that in your pitch that you're looking for freelance, and then in your resume you say that you're looking to become a social media manager at this company because you've always loved this company, and then on your LinkedIn you talk about how you really want to work in video development or something like that. The point being is you want it to be somewhat cohesive. Also, you want your personal pitch to end with a really strong conclusion, so what is your ask? And lastly, make sure that your personal pitch is short. We don't need to hear your whole life story. We need your personal pitch to be relevant to this job and company that you're applying to and how your experience relates to it. We don't need to know what you were doing all the way back in high school. And lastly, prepare for your interview. Go a step further beyond the job description to really learn who is the company, what are they about, what's their product, what's their service, who are their leaders, why does their company exist. Also, you can go even further and understand who are your interviewers. Oftentimes when you have an interview, the person you're corresponding with will tell you who that person is. Go on LinkedIn and check out their background. See if you can draw some sort of commonalities between you and them. And if you're interviewing for a role, say like an email marketer, make sure you're on their email list. Make sure you know what their product or service is that you're interviewing to be part of. If you're more of a to-do list person, we have a free downloadable checklist to help you kick off your job search.